Hello guys, welcome to a new video here in JS Education. My name is Carlos Santana and this is the video number 47 for the course developing a headless CMS with TypeScript and GraphQL. So let's start. Okay, before we start, I want to mention that the code that I'm going to show you in this video was made by Jorge Betancourt, which is a guy from Colombia that is helping me to develop the CMS. So if you also want to join the community and help me developing the CMS and apporting new ideas for the CMS, the link of the Slack is in the description. So feel free to join. We normally do bi-weekly meetings with all the team, and we discuss new ideas and ways to improve the CMS. So you are welcome to join. Okay, so let's start. So the first thing we need to do is going to the main folder content PI, and we are going to create a new file called changelog in capital letters .md. And right now we are going to register the tickets that we have been working on it or that we have fixed in this format. Basically is going to call CPI dash and the number of the ticket, and then the link of the ticket and the description of that ticket. And then this is gonna be monthly. For now it's a manual process to do this, but eventually we want to automate this thing. Okay, so that's it for that. Now you need to update your packages using ncu-u as always, and just remember that you need to use the version you are seeing on my terminal to avoid any problem, and after that you just need to install those versions. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is going to backend and then source, GraphQL, types, enumerations, and then we are going to add a new mutation called enumeration, delete enumeration. We are going to pass an ID and we are going to return an enumeration. And then you need to go to GraphQL resolvers enumeration. And in here, we are going to specify or delete enumeration. Basically, we're going to receive the ID. We're going to find by primary key on the enumeration model. If we find that enumeration, we destroy it and we return it. Otherwise, we just return null. And then that's everything for the backend. Now let's go to frontend, app, dashboard components, models, and you need to create a new file called delete enumeration model.tsx. And basically, let me copy the code for that. Yeah, so basically this one is the same or pretty much the same as the other models, delete models. The only difference here is that I'm renaming the model component as model UI because I want to standardize the model's class names. So for example, if you see any other model, right now the class is like the name of the file, delete entries model, delete field model, etc. So the problem is that we want to standardize everything. That is gonna be so easy just to copy and paste and create a new model, for example. So what I'm going to do is to put just the name model on the class names and export them. And then the model that was before the model from the UI now is going to be called model UI. So in this way, we can rename all the classes to be model, and that's gonna be a refactor that I'm going to do after this video. So, okay, so for now, we just need to rename this model, and then we are going to include the delete enumeration mutation, which we are going to create later. Also here, we need to standardize the mutations. So before was delete the name of the type and then mutation. So now I'm going to standardize this to be just delete mutation. Also here. So the idea is basically that we just, if we need to create another delete model, we just copy and paste this one, and we just change minor things, like for example, the name of this enumeration, and the other things should work exactly the same. Okay, and then basically we just specify the same text we have in the others. Are you sure you want to delete the enumeration? This cannot be reverted. And then the two buttons, the cancel and delete enumeration, and that's it. After this, you should go to my apps, cards, card style, and we're going to remove this function because it's not being used anymore. So that's just a minor ESLint warning that I got. Now you should go to schema enumerations, enumeration styled, and we need to add to the information class the styles display flex and justify content space between. And this is because we are going to add a new icon, trash icon, to the enumerations. So we need to make that separation. Okay, in here, in the enumerations, basically, you need to include use state, and also you need to include the icon from Content BI UI and the delete enumeration model. And then we will have a state like this. Also, I'm going to start standardizing this way to set the models. So I'm going to do that after this video. So probably you will need to do a git pull origin master after that. So don't worry right now. But yeah, eventually I'm going to standardize everything like that. Okay, so now we need to define some methods here. So basically the handle delete model is going to be whoever opens the model changing the state, and then the handle delete is going to receive an ID, open the model and set the ID. And then basically we just need to render or delete enumeration model, and on data we pass the ID that we want to delete, and then we pass the handle delete model. And in the in information we need to grab this into two divs, one div for the enumeration name and the identifier, and another div to create an icon, which is a trash. And then on the on click we call handle delete enumeration.id. And the last thing we need to do is going to GraphQL enumerations, and you need to create a new file called delete enumeration.mutation.ts. And this is the code for that. And this is the way you just call the delete enumeration. You just need to pass the ID. Okay, so let's test our project to see if everything works fine. Okay, so we go to my apps, and then in here I'm going to see that I have enumeration fruits. So this is the new icon I have to delete the enumerations. So basically when we click here, we open the model delete enumeration, and we ask if we want to confirm or we want to delete that enumeration. So if you click here, then you're going to remove that enumeration and you need to create a new one. So after this video, the next video probably is going to be to edit that enumeration. Yeah, so that's it for this video. I don't want to make it any longer. I think the code was very straightforward. So just remember that if you have any question, feel free to join our Slack community. Also, if you want to be part of the community and help me with the development of this project, also you can join the Slack. As I mentioned before at the beginning of the video, now we are a team of like around 9 or 10 people that we normally have a meeting every 15 days to discuss ideas for the project, and uh, like they help me developing this project, so that's pretty cool. So that's it for me. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you in the next one. Bye.